I need a big performance here, or else I'm getting sacked in the morning. Mate, I've come on and I've banged a hat-trick in, mate.
No way. Yes, guys, and welcome back to my summer house. Today's guest is a West Ham legend, an England international, and now a technical academy coach at the Hammers. It's the one and only Carlton Cole.
Yes, guys.
Yes, Carlton, how you doing, mate? You right?
What's happening, mate?
Just double checking this is the real Carlton Cole and not the fake one on Twitter that's got 45,000 followers.
He's more famous than me, that geezer.
Has anyone ever thought it was you?
Yeah.
Have they?
David Gold thought it was me.
No, he never.
He mentioned it to me, and I was like, bloody hell.
So what was he saying that he thought was you?
He was just giving him dogs abuse, but he then, I think he got wind. I think someone's told him, this can't be you. Cole wouldn't say these things to me, like. He was pure confused, mate.
How funny. So you're technical academy coach now. How's that going, mate? You loving it?
Yeah, of course, man. You know, just being around the kids and sharing my knowledge about the game, do you know what I mean? It's priceless. And then seeing them implement it on the field, it's unreal, isn't it?
Can't beat it, mate. You can't beat it. It's perfect next step. If a 17-year-old Carlton Cole was in your academy now, what kind of kid would he be, and how would you manage him?
A 17-year-old Carlton Cole would probably be out on the lash.
Yeah.
What I would do different from back then, I would make sure that I'd look at players that played in my position and look at their game and analyse their game better.
Were you a big personality in the changing room, would you say? Would you one of the loud ones?
I definitely was, one of the loud ones. That's never changed. I just didn't mind making a fool of myself.
Yeah.
I didn't mind being a class clown since school days, so I've just got no shame. That's basically what it is. I just don't care
Mate,
what I look like, and I think that's I've converted it into a powerful tool to get by in life.
Carl, were you like that at school? Were you like that when it came to work?
I was really good in school. I was really good in school, to be honest. They always said that I was a university. I was going to be a university graduate when I was in school. I was quite switched on.
Yeah.
But I wasn't streetwise. That's my problem.
Yeah.
Like, I'll always get sucked into the wrong things, and I'll get what would you say?
Easily influenced.
I'll get sidetracked.
Yeah. I was going to ask if you were the best football player in your school. And if that was the case, did you get away with a lot more because teachers were like, "Wow, he's good at football. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be all right." Or was it the opposite?
No. I'll tell you the truth. I went to a school called Lambton. My first secondary school was called Lambton, and it was in Hounslow. And then there was another fella in that school called Carlton, but his name was Carlton Thomas.
Right.
He was a good lad. Like, to me, he was a great lad. He always had my back. But he was a troublemaker. We always get into trouble, and he was just doing little bits and bobs. Sometimes he'd bring. Remember those little bangers you used to get?
Oh yeah,
throw them at people and go pat pat. Yeah. We used to throw them at teachers and run away. Do you know what I mean? And I'm there behind him, and I'll get in trouble. There was one thing that happened. I think it was in the toilets. Someone was in there, and then I threw a stink bomb on someone's. Like, they was having a poo, and I threw a stink bomb over the cubicle, and it hit their leg, and they smelled of poo all day and fart all day, and then obviously that's classed as bullying. I found it hilarious at the time, obviously, and then obviously I get done, didn't I? And then so I was suspended.
No.
I was going to get expelled. Definitely was going to get expelled. And what happened was, after that, before I got expelled, I called my mate that I used to play football in my Sunday league team, and I said, listen, is there any chance of me getting into to Chiswick school? Can you ask? And he goes, don't wait, give me what day, I'll ask my mum, see if she can pull some strings. So she's told this guy called Mr. Barber that works at Chiswick school. We'd played Chiswick school a few times. Right. I was the man of the match.
Yeah, so he knew.
At school football. So it was kind of a signing for Chiswick school to get me on board. Do you know what I mean? It's like, right, yeah, he is a bit of an idiot, but we can shape him.
Yeah.
He took me, said, if you don't want him, we'll take him, because I was a good footballer, basically.
Mate.
That's how I got into Chiswick school. And then after that, then obviously the head. So I've signed my contract at Chelsea, and then obviously I've just started new school as well. So everything just clicked in from there, and then I just grew into the person I am today.
Mate, football saved you massively.
It did. It saved my life, man.
So, Colin, what age were you when people started to think, oh, this kid's decent, like, he's going to go places? How old were you when people started to take notice?
I was about 11,
Were you?
11, 12. As soon as I started playing football, really, because I used to go and watch my uncle play. He used to play for a team in Hounslow called CB United. And I used to watch him, and I just think, this guy's the man. Like, I want to be like this guy. This guy's... Because he was a local hero around the area, everyone knew he was such a great footballer. And I said... And I remember him going into the pubs and that, and then everyone just buying him a drink. So he was like...
Yeah.
He was the man. I was like, mate, I don't mind that. This is...
Yeah.
Like, I was getting free crisps and peanuts, you know what I mean? Like,
Living the dream.
Yeah, and a nice, lovely cold orange juice on the house. Do you know what I mean? So I was thinking, I could get used to this. I'm living off my uncle. I want to make my name for myself. But then I started playing and I started training with men as well, with him. And then I started getting the knack of it. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't the greatest when I started, but then obviously I grew into my football, and I grew into my size and my stature. And I was obviously about 12, 13, getting used to kicking the ball around and getting my technique right. And so I'd say 12, 13, that's when I started to realise that I was actually better than everybody else around me. And on top of that, playing with men's football as well, and training with these big men that didn't hold back. When they lifted you, they came with proper tackles. So I had to kind of look after myself at an early age. So, and my uncle didn't, like, there was one time I got a big tackle from one of these lads. And I remember I started crying on the field. And I was going, oh, my leg. And my uncle just stood over me. He goes, you said you wanted to come here, yeah? Get yourself together. And he didn't even pick me up.
What?
So I was like, oh, wow. Okay, unks. Like, I'm not getting no love here. So I had to pick myself up and carry on playing.
Mate, what was the first game that you played in where you had real butterflies? Where you thought, this is a make or break for me?
There's a few of those, mate, I'll tell you. I wasn't the most punctual guy around. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was definitely not punctual. And my uncle didn't help me because he used to take me to and from football, and he was the worst as well at punctuality. So this is where I get my lateness from. I saw this at a young age. I used to always be late. And there's one time, I think we're playing, can't remember, probably Charlton or someone like that, in the reserve league. And I had to come on at half time, and I was late. Yeah, obviously, because I came out halfway through the first half, and then I was thinking, I need a big performance here, or else I'm getting sacked in the morning. Mate, I've come on and I've banged a hat-trick in, mate.
No way.
Before the game, I said, Chelsea definitely they're going to let me go after this. There's no coming back from this one. I'm late again. I'm late. I've been late all the way through the week. I've been, I've just not done myself any favours. Yeah. And then I'm late on match day. Like, come on, mate. Like, shocking.
What did Gaffer say to you? Did he just shake his head at you? Or?
Mick, he's shaking it. But he had to put me on because they needed me.
Right.
Like, and because there was a player playing out of position.
Yeah.
I've come on and I've just banged in a hat-trick. But, and that's when I knew, that's when I knew I could work well under pressure.
Did that happen when you went training with England for the first time? Like, what was that like, that experience? Because obviously, massive names. You played a lot of games for the under-21s, went all the way through the England. What was that first training session like where they said, Carlton, you're in with the big boys?
It was okay, but remember, you got to understand that I grew up at Chelsea, been playing with big players all my life, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd seen so many, at club level, I'd seen so many great players come from Chelsea, Marcel Desailly, World Cup winners.
Yeah.
I already knew Lamps, I already knew John Terry, I already knew all these people. When you're in there, that first training session, it was nothing too serious. I've played against these players all the way through. I was an experienced pro by then when I got in, so I was fine. Like, it didn't really faze me. I already knew Sean Wright Phillips, Glenn Johnson, all the boys. They were my mates. It's just that I wasn't at their level playing for England. You know what I mean? So when I got there, I was like, sorry, mate, late to the party again. Yeah. Always late. I told you. Always late, mate. You know what I mean? So it was well deserved, and I felt that I got there on merit as well. So everyone knew that, okay, Coley's ready now. He could be a proper force in the game.
Player. What was the vibe like in the England team back then? What was it like, your first away trip? Can you remember it?
Yeah, I do remember. I think Spain. We went to Spain.
Yeah.
That was my first trip away with England under-21s, by the way. I was thinking to myself, do you know what? I can't mess up on this trip. Like, there's just no way I can mess up on this trip. So we obviously we've gone to the training ground. We've left the hotel, gone to the training ground, as we're going off the coach, I think it was Jermaine Pennant at the time. He goes, listen lads. And he's at the back of the coach calling shots, by the way.
Yeah.
And I've never played this game, by the way. He goes, Eggy Boff, yeah, first person to leave this coach. So I'm thinking, huh? And I think, who was I sitting next to? I think I was sitting next to Gareth Barry at the time. I was at the front of the coach, by the way. And I think it was David Platt. David Platt was our manager at the time. I was thinking, Eggy Boff, what the hell is Eggy Boff? I've never played this before at Chelsea. What the hell is this? So he's gone. So Gareth goes, oh no. Like, and I've looked at his face. He's looked at me in disappointment. I'm thinking, what is this? He goes, mate, you just can't leave the coach. The first one to leave this coach, yeah, is going to be called Eggy Boff the whole trip. So there, I'm thinking, what does Eggy Boff mean? And I don't know what Eggy Boff means. I don't know what it means either. It's just a name that we've made up, Eggy Boff. So anyway, David Platt's come on the front of the coach, obviously. I'm right at the front. He goes, come on in, lads. What are you doing? And I'm like, he's looking at me in my eyes at this time. I'm sweating buckets, mate. And I sweat, I perspire really quick. Yeah. So I was already sweating anyway, but the bucket started to come out. It looked like I was crying and all sorts. It was just, what a sight. And I think he already knew what was going on.
Right.
Yeah, because he's probably been through this before.
Yeah.
But then that's why he was homing in on me.
Yeah.
And I was right in his face like that.
Yeah.
And I was going, sorry, Gaffer. I'm looking at him in his eyes, and it looks like I've got a tear in my eye too. I'm putting on the shower works. Anyway, who's done it for me? My partner, Gareth Barry. That's why I say I rate Gareth Barry up there. Really? Because of this little thing he done for me, he goes, Holy, let's go. I'm getting off first. So I've gone, that's Bisto, mate. You go off and I'm following. Yeah. He got off first and then we stopped it. But we was there for like 15, 20 minutes, geez. Mate, imagine that.
Gareth Barry has saved your ass there. He's absolutely
saved me. But there was another one as well, so he didn't save me on that one either. I saved myself. I didn't mind getting called Eggy Boff after him because I was just like, who cares? I don't care about anyone calling me Eggy Boff anyway. Yeah. But when you first go in,
of course,
to integrate with the lads, you can't be a bumsuck. You know what I mean? You can't say, okay, Gaffer, I'm coming in. You got to have a bit about yourself, you know what I mean?
Of course you have.
I didn't know what I was getting myself
into. Mate, that is epic. What a great story. And top man Gareth Barry for helping you out on your first day. Obviously you played with some massive names. Who was the best, in your opinion, that you played with?
It's hard to pick one, you know, because everyone's got their own
style of play.
Obviously, in that England team, you had David Beckham in there.
What was Bex like? Did you get on well with Bex? Yeah.
Yeah, I got along with... Yeah, it's just like... He's like the man them, innit? Like, he's just a cool cat. You know what I mean? And he's just a cool guy, man. I don't know I can't speak high enough about him because he's just one of them guys that is just, he's just a cool cat, man, cool customer, and obviously the person that he is, and the aura that he's got around him, and the fame he's got, just to stay humble and a good person is a hard thing to do. So I always commend him. He dealt with fame in the right way. You got players like John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, massive players in world football. Then obviously I love Gianfranco Zola, Paolo Di Canio. Like, I've played with some top players. Frank Lampard's got to be in there. Played with some top players. I love Joe Cole, the way his style was. Arjen Robben. The list goes on. Scotty Parker. If I had to pick one, I'd have to pick Gianfranco Zola, only because what he done for me when I came into the first team at Chelsea when I was younger. He kind of took me under his wing, and he didn't have to do that, you know what I mean? Because I was actually challenging for his spot. Do you know what I mean? Right. So he's definitely one up there that I would say he's such a lovely person, plus a world-class footballer, and you just don't see that often, being that person he is. He's so warming. And then obviously when he came over to West Ham as a manager, I warmed to him straight away because I already remembered I want to play for this guy because what he done for me in my early stages of my career.
Now, what's the future for Carlton? You're obviously enjoying doing the academy stuff. Do you reckon you'll ever go into management, or are you just happy doing what you're doing now?
Look, you never know what happens in 5 years, you know what I mean? But what I'm working towards, I'm about to jump on my A license now. And I'm about to do some other stuff as well, like some board stuff, like boardroom stuff, and how to do like sporting director roles and all that sort of some management stuff like that. So I'm just trying to educate myself in every field and walk of life possible in the world of football. So I will be well versed to go into any job I actually choose. I obviously want to be a manager, but if you're not a manager, it's not the end of the world. You can go into something else. You could be an assistant, or you could go into the boardroom. You could be a sporting director. You could be anything else you want to do, whatever you choose. You know what I mean? You don't have to just be put in a box and say, well, I was a football player, I just got to be a manager now. It doesn't work like that. I just like to be well versed in the whole world of football.
Mate, I love it. Inspirational stuff to anyone that's listening, that's thinking of getting into football management. Carlton Cole's your man. Top man, mate. Honestly, thank you so much for joining me today, mate. Absolutely brilliant. You're a top man. Good luck with the academy stuff. Good luck with the TV stuff and the media stuff. Keep smashing it, and no doubt we'll catch up soon.
Definitely. Cheers, Rocket.
Top man. Cheers, Carlton.